All right, welcome to Jonesycast. I'm Jonesy. This is the cast, and pretty much what I do is read Reddit posts and respond to them on video. If you like it, please hit like and subscribe. If you don't, then don't. All right, let's get into it. Posted by user Saiyan God OW 4 minutes ago. I, 21 male, want to get back with my ex, 20 female of 5 years. Unsure how to go about it. For some context, I was with my ex-girlfriend. By the way, I'm going to put the link in the description for anyone else who wants to read the full context. I was with my girlfriend from freshman year to high school up until freshman year of college. We ended up splitting because she felt she needed to focus entirely on school and didn't have time for relationships. At the time, I didn't take this too kindly, and our relationship ended on bad terms, to say the least. I had undiagnosed bipolar, ADHD, as well as chronic pain. So to say I was a bit cold at times is an understatement. I've since reached out for a treatment and am a completely different person now. It's been 2 years since we split up, and I reconnected with her over Twitter back in December to apologize for how I behaved when things ended. I acknowledged that I wasn't the best boyfriend and made an attempt to rekindle something with her. Unfortunately, she told me she was seeing someone who didn't want to communicate with me out of respect for them, but we still went about following each other and occasionally interact with one another's posts. It's gotten to the point where she's posting about how awful men are, and it's clear to me that something has happened with her and her boyfriend. I wanted to know how I could go about reconnecting with her without making it look like I was lurking for an opportunity this entire time. I definitely wasn't. I have problems when it comes to social cues and want her to know I genuinely feel something and want to interact with her again. Okay, so here's the deal, homeboy. There's a couple of problems here. I'm just going to be straight out with you because that's what you need, okay? You're 21, which means that you don't really know what you're doing. And now that's not a diss, it's just the truth. You don't have enough time in the saddle to be able to read social cues and understand just the little nuances in communication. Now, you've already acknowledged that, which I appreciate. It's good that you know your weaknesses. Now, so you were with your ex from freshman year of high school up until, so you were with her from in high school, and you split up badly. And then you reconnected with her, and then she told you she was seeing someone and didn't want to communicate. Now, out of respect for them, that is a very good thing because it means she's a woman of principle. Okay. It means that she's not going to do something dodgy and go behind homeboy's back. That's a very good thing. Now, it's gotten to the point where she's posting about how awful men are, and it's clear to me that something's happened with her and her boyfriend. Yeah, that may be the case, but you don't know what's happened. The problem with social media is the fact that people have a tendency to vent on there. They have a tendency to be very vague, and they're maybe fishing for compliments or fishing for sympathy, right? But you don't know what's happened. And you don't know what she thinks of it. You don't know his side of the story. Okay. So, I wanted to know how I could go about reconnecting with her without making it look like I was lurking. I'm glad you could see that it could look like lurking, right? Here's the deal. You need to decide what you want. Okay. Do you want a relationship with this girl again? And you need to be honest with yourself. You need to say either yes or no. A lot of people tend to keep their desires hidden even from themselves, and they don't admit to them, because what happens is, and this is not from me, this idea, this is an idea from Jordan Peterson, right? What happens is if you keep your goals foggy, you never have to face the fact that you failed. You never have to face the fact that you didn't achieve them because they weren't really there. You know what I mean? Once you clearly define a goal, there is a clear distinction of success or failure. And we don't like failure, okay? But it is necessary. To get what you want, you must decide what you want, okay? So you need to decide if you want a relationship with her again. Now, I think that you do want a relationship with her again, but you're planning to just go real slow and see how it goes and prove that you're the man for her, etc. And then bang, she'll catch fire because you're a good bloke now. Here's the other issue though. It's the timing. Okay. I will never date a girl, and I'm in a relationship right now, but before that, I used to date chronically. I was a serial monogamist, right? I would never date a girl that had, if I was in it for the long term or trying to be in it for the long term, I would never try to go for a girl that was out of a relationship for under 6 months. Because what happens is I would become the rebound. Now, if you don't know what a rebound is, you need to go Google that shit, because it is really, really bad if you don't know it. I've been the rebound and I knew it. I was the one just to make her feel like she was loved, make her feel human, make her feel touched, make her feel warm, right? And I knew it. And it worked out for both of us fine. She got what she wanted, I got what I wanted, and she's apples. But then I was the rebound a couple of times and I didn't know it. And that fucking hurts. It really hurts, dude. Because you have the expectation of long term. You have the expectation of promises made or unmade. But then she gets what she wants. And then she moves on, right? That's what happens. It's not specific to this girl. It just happens. It's guys, girls, whatever. Potatoes, dogs, whatever. What will happen is you will walk into a girl who's picking up the pieces of a former relationship. You help them pick those pieces up and then she walks away with them. Okay. And the reason is because you are stepping into the shadow of another man, right? So the timing here is completely off, right? Now, if what you want is to just be friends with her and talk to her every now and then, that's okay. You can help her pick those pieces up, but you cannot allow yourself to develop expectations or hopes, because you will get your heart broken and it'll be really, really bad. And I'm speaking about this from experience, from myself, and knowledge from other relationships that I've seen, male and female. Okay. So you've got the issue that you don't know what's happening there. The other issue is the timing. The other issue is that she's also a different person, right? So if you live in the same town as her, there may be the chance that you two can hit it off after a certain amount of time, maybe 6 months to a year. But again, she's going to be a different woman again, right? And you're going to be a different guy again. My question is to you, are you focusing on her because she's such an amazing woman, or are you focusing on her because she's familiar? Because you're 21. So you haven't run across the gamut of women like I have. And again, I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you there's a difference between a 21-year-old man and a 33-year-old man. One of my mates got married when he was 20 and he's been with her for the last 13 years, maybe 12 years. And he's not looking anywhere else. He's fine with her because he knows what it is. He knows what's out there. He knows the hard work that a relationship takes, right? But my question for you is, why do you want her if you do? And if you don't, why do you want to be friends with her? I would search within yourself at your motives. You need to ask yourself that question in writing, and you need to respond in writing. And I mean that. Please write these down. Because what will happen is you're having a conversation with yourself in your head, and then something flits in like a butterfly and it takes your mind off it, right? Whereas if you're writing it down, you can look at this again the next day, the next week, the next month, right? The other thing you need to do is you need to write down what you want in a relationship. Does she match it? You need to write down what you want in a woman. Does she match it? Right? And don't compare it to her. Just write down what you want in a woman and in a relationship and ask yourself, can she or does she or will she compare to that? Because if the answer is no on any of those, keep moving, son. Keep moving, right? You also need to ask yourself what kind of man you want to be. Right? And that will also answer the question as to whether you are being that man in asking these questions. Okay. Honestly, knowing what I know now, if I was in your position, I would let this go. But I can only say that because of where I am and what I've done and the fact that it's me. Look, you could connect with this girl again and have a happy marriage. Don't like the chances, but it could happen. The question is, are you willing to chase that and be disappointed? Because look, man, if she has told you, look, I've had women in my life before that have said something to me it sounds exactly like she doesn't want to communicate with me out of respect for them. That's a good woman. The problem is that good women have a tendency to have very high standards. And unless you meet them, you're out in the cold, right? If I was in your position, I would focus on me, on making myself a better man, on getting myself good earning potential. Women have a biological clock. Men have a financial clock. Make yourself viable as a man, as a person. Make yourself respectable, lovable, someone who's reliable, consistent, mature, not concerned about the bullshit affairs of others, right? That's what I would do if I was you. I would focus on, if I was me in this position, I would focus on me. I know you don't want to, and I know it seems like you want this girl, but the question is why? Why do you want her? Because doing all this homework that I've just listed before getting in contact with her will save you a lot of tears, and it will save you a relationship that could have been, but ended up going even worse because you tried to bite off more than she was willing to give you, right? Now, if you do all that homework that I just said, I feel like a teacher anyway. If you do all that thinking, because relationships take hard work and homework, okay? If you do all that thinking, and then she comes and then you talk to her and etc., and you still want to go for it, go for it. Absolutely go for it. See what happens, right? What's the worst that can happen? She says no, and then you don't talk to her again. I mean, there are fates worse than that, my friend. And then you learn, Sometimes you got to open, if you don't know what Schrodinger's cat is, look it up on Google and understand the metaphor of you have to open the box to find out what's in the box. Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to drive the car to find out if it's shit, right? So that's what I would do. Do all the homework. And then if you still feel like you want to chase this girl, then do it. But just before I go, I have problems when it comes to social cues and want her to know that I genuinely feel something. Okay, you need to define what that something is. Telling me that you feel something for me, I don't give a shit. That's not, because now you're putting the responsibility back on me, okay? You feeling something doesn't matter to me. Like, feel something for someone else, right? And I know that sounds harsh, I do, but I've had that said to me and it made me a better man, okay? You need to define what it is. You need to define what you want. You need to define what you feel. Okay. If you just want to interact with her again, that's fine. Go have a coffee with her, and really, really listen with no malintent, with no underlying motives, with no ulterior motives. Just listen to her, man. Really listen and ask questions about what she's saying. I tell you what, that will get you further than going and declaring your love like Hugh Grant in a 90s romance movie. That will get you very, very far. Go take her out for coffee or, like something real friendship oriented. Don't go for dinner with alcohol. Fuck that noise. That's for a girl that you're looking to date, okay? Go have a coffee, go have breakfast, go have lunch with her and you pay. And then just find out how she is. Find out where she's at. Find out what she cares about. Find out why she does what she does. And really learn and really give her attention. Not for you, but for her. If you can do that, you are a man worth your salt. I'll give you that, okay? Hopefully this video has helped you, man. I really hope that this goes well for you.